This is AB de Villiers, one of the greatest batters to ever play the game of cricket.
You have to be prepared to play the mental game.
And this is Steyn, one of the most fierce, fastest bowlers that's ever played the game of cricket.
Two giants go up against each other. That's what you want.
What happens when bowler and batter go head to head? There's a saying which I heard a long time ago and it resonates quite clearly with me. Batters win your sponsorships, bowlers win your championships. Everyone knows you're the batter, everyone knows you're the bowler. What does the bowler think about that statement?
Absolutely true. So we've had the SA20 now for a couple years now, and I was part of Sunrisers Eastern Cape. Fortunately, my role was bowling coach, and we've won the first two, made the final in the third one, and every year we've had our top three bowlers in the tournament have come from our team. It's got nothing to do with me. Okay, I'm just fortunate that I'm there. But Marco Jansen, Dan Worrell, Otniel Bartman, these guys, they're all up there in the highest wicket takers, and you end up winning twice and one-time finalist. And I think last year KG Rabada was also their winner. So, that's 3 years of my experience of this competition that I've been in closely now in the last 3 years. Bowlers have won.
That's T20 cricket.
T20.
Same for Test cricket, same for one-day internationals. The bowlers have to win you the games.
I mean, I think it's debatable. I think when you go to places like India, and you've got fast bowlers and it's tough, we've got spinners that are taking wickets, but your batters have got to get through the situation. AB's been there and to draw a test match, to bat out a full day, you need your batters to be able to do that. But, bowlers, if they step up and they can win you a session in a test match, they can almost win you the test match one afternoon. They can take 4 or 5 wickets, break the game open. So I'm a bowler, I'm a little bit biased in that sense, but I appreciate...
I'm giving you a chance.
But I fully appreciate the hard work that these guys do for us to be able to achieve that. They get the glory, but
they get the sponsors.
They get the sponsors, they get the big bucks.
They get the cash.
We help them win the medals, not that I want any, but yeah.
A bowling attack is incredibly important. It's more psychological thing than anything else. I think the batters win you trophies as well, but it's just the effect that the bowling unit has on the batting unit. Yeah, when you can trust the bowling unit and you know what you're going to get, the batters sort of relax and you don't feel like you have to do more than what's required out there.
Yep.
And that plays a huge mental role on all the batting batters out there and you as a batting team. So I know what it feels like to play against a proper bowling attack. It's not nice, makes you uncomfortable, and it sort of suffocates the batting lineup.
Win the toss. I always say sometimes on commentary too that if you're unsure, you can lose that test match in the first session of the test match by batting first. Whereas you can get into the test match by bowling and collectively coming on the field together. And watching the surface, you can't lose the test match if you go out there as a collective.
Yeah, I feel like that in T20s too, sometimes in the start of a tournament, you've got to be on the money, obviously, but when you're bowling, all 11 guys are on the field and you're actually participating as a team. It's the one time that you're participating as a team. When you're batting, it's 2 guys that go out there. And if you start badly, it sends a bit of tremors down the spine of a team. So sometimes in the start of a tournament, if it's flat, especially T20s, I'm talking specifically, just get out there and bowl, as a team, get out there, do the business, you're in the field, blah, 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 all that kind of stuff. If you start well, really looks good. But then again, surfaces, you've got to be well prepared to make those decisions. But I agree, as a bowling unit, you're playing with your full team. As a batting unit, that's just 2.
And you guys had an unbelievable bowling attack. Spearheaded by this guy, Mornay, Vernon, crazy bowlers.
You touched on it right there. We had a bit of everything. Yeah. A bit of diversity in a way. With a tall Mornay Morkel bounce, sort of causing panic in the batting lineups with regards to fear, the fear that he delivered. Someone like Jacques Callis never even went into the nets to face him. Then we had Dale with his one of a kind. No one else in the world I've ever seen do that with a ball. Late. The amount of times he opened up batters, knocking the off stump out of the ground was incredible.
Guilty.
And then Vern, who moved it off the deck, completely different, pace off. Yeah. Sometimes the keeper's up, always on the stumps, never bounces over the stumps. You got to hit it, otherwise you're gone. That balance between them was absolutely incredible. Then Rabada came along as well, obviously a bit later. It gave us a lot of confidence as a batting lineup. We always knew if we bowled first, no matter what they get, we knew that was under par. That was the confidence we had in them. If the batters got 430 as a batting unit, we felt like, you know what, that's probably around par, maybe just below.
Because of your
Because if they got it against us, we can do better against their bowlers. So once again, from a psychological point of view, boosted us immensely as a batting lineup.
bowlers becoming bowling machines. What is your view on the game as a batter now? How important are bowlers to the game, and how do we protect the bowlers? Because that kind of a statement, it's not great.
Yeah, well, I don't agree with that. The game has definitely changed. The batters got better, different shots. The game sort of favors them in a way as well. I think some of the fielding restrictions is a bit tough on them. Only the 2 out of the ring in the first 6 in the T20 game is crazy on a really good day.
You reckon they could give another one out?
I think they have all of them out from the start. The ball new. Why give a new ball to an opening bat? Ball flying everywhere. Only 2 fielders out.
That's interesting.
So 2 best batters out there as well.
That's interesting.
Like a paradise. And the batting in T20 cricket. So a little bit unfair in that regard. But from my point of view, probably one of my biggest strengths in my career was always to sort of just start over and respect what you're facing on the day. The little conditions change from game to game.
Yeah.
The one day you're facing a Bumrah, he absolutely demolishes you on a good deck. The next day you sort of get your wave that you can ride again. So I wouldn't say they're bowling machines. There are so many great quality bowlers out there that can absolutely humble you.
But that's so interesting that you say that start with everybody out. I've never even thought of that.
I'll give you an example in Hyderabad, for instance, where all those big scores were happening in the last IPL.
Yes.
Abhishek Sharma, Travis Head, credit to them, great players.
Yeah.
A lot of balls that they didn't want to hit in the area that would almost like line up for long on outside edge over a short third man for 4. Now that's out with 5 fielders out.
Yes.
Just give the bowler something to bowl to. That's what I'd say. For the foul shot, for the one that doesn't go in the area that you're aiming.
There is a committee that decides on the rules of the game. You're the bowler, he's the batter. You like that, don't you?
Yeah. I know there's a couple guys, Sean Pollock's on the committee, and every now and then he gets into the com box and he starts telling me things about what's potentially going to happen. And it was quite interesting, like in the ODIs where they're now changing the ball to 1 ball, 33 or whatever it was. I love that. You know, we are maybe the fielders are not out in the ring. Maybe we get there at some stage, because I genuinely do like that. You know, and it's a
basic, simple rule.
And it also makes batters play differently. You know, it's a bit of tip and run now as opposed to just stand and bang it. You know, so there's ways we can look into that. But like now we're moving to that 1 ball. I think what's nice about that is we start to bring the skill back in. Like I was growing up, you were growing up, you did watching Wasim Waka reverse swing the ball. Who does that now? Like
when you can't, because you know what, new balls.
There's 2 brand new balls, you know, and also the skill goes out the window because that's a skill you practice. I got to practice now with my bowler
to get it going.
100%. I got to practice now. I got to bag 25 brand new balls. Here you go. Here's a brand new ball. Here's a brand new ball. Carry on, you know. Now the ball is reverse swinging. The guys actually don't have the skill because they don't know how to do it, you know. So I like that rule. Polly told me about that. I see it coming to play now. And, you know, so we forever change the rules to make it a little bit even. But I like that.
Rules are rules. Skills are completely different. You talk about new balls and you talk about skill. What are you telling your bowlers now? Because, I mean, us guys calling, and we all call games of cricket now. You see these guys just getting pummeled. Like what is their defense? What is a bowler's defense? I mean, I'll talk about him in a minute because his bat, that's what he is. Mr. 360. Go and get yourself a 360. You have to get yourself a 360. That's coming soon, right?
Back to the topic.
But I'll get back to you. But it's the reason that bat says 360 is because he does it. What do you do?
So I think it's a mental thing, you know, like when I played, like certainly against, like say AB, like that, it was almost embarrassing to go for 20, you know, it wasn't heard of, you know. This guy who's a well-known bowler, a very good bowler against, it doesn't matter who it is, whether it's a good batter like AB or like an average Joe, going for 20 runs is like, and then you walk into the dressing room, you're almost embarrassed to show people, can't believe I let the team down. This happens now all the time. The talk when you get into a dressing room now is that if you're going to go for 20, and I spoke about this yesterday, don't go for 26, don't go for 28, you know. Go for 17, please, you know, or go for 18, please. Don't let the over go away from you. Whereas back in the day, it was like, once you get to about 16, it's like, oh gosh, I've already gone for 16. Who cares if I go for 24 or whatever it is? And now we started to realize like the small margins, teams win by 2 runs, 3 runs. It doesn't matter anymore. So a guy walking in and saying, sorry, coach, I went to 10 and over today. No. you bowled well. Instead of going for 24 there, you closed out that last ball, you went for 20, we won by 3 runs. Fantastic, well bowled. Whereas back in the day, I'd walk into the dressing room and I felt like, not that it really happened, but I felt like the bowling coach didn't want to come and speak to me because he's like, you let me down today, you know? Exactly. And now it's like you go over and you say, well done. You know, you could have gone for 60, but you went for 54. And that's fine. And we won the game. So it's a mental mindset. Guys are not looking at the stats going, I've got to keep my economy down to 8 or 7 or whatever it is. I just got to win those high pressure moments. Instead of this ball going for 6 or for 4, it's a dot ball, a wicket, or a 1 at best.
You have to be prepared to play the mental game.
What is the mental game?
It's a game of cat and mouse. So as a batter, I've got a rhythm to my batting.
Yeah.
And you, as a bowler, is responsible to figure out what my rhythm is.
Yeah.
And how you're going to counter that. So the mental game is to figure out what the go-to delivery is for specific batters. It might change from batter to batter as well. But you can see what a batter's trying to do out. Sometimes it's giving yourself a bit more room. He's trying to expose him in the offside. Vice versa might be true. If you don't pick up on that as a bowler, you're going to get murdered.
Yeah.
And if you do, you can make a 20-run over, maybe 10, or get even a wicket or 2 in that over.
Here at The Switch, we're proud to partner with Sarai. Since 2018, Sarai has helped protect endangered wildlife. Through powerful partnerships and a global community, it's driving change to help iconic species survive for generations to come. Click on the link below for more information and for your chance to win a signed Sarai cap. Subscribe to the channel and drop a comment below.
You're talking about the mental game and also understanding tactics. You guys played with Graham Smith, who is one of the greatest captains to have captained any team. Is it important to have a captain that understands that? And would it be beneficial, because of where the game's at now, to have a captain that's a bowler like Cummins with Australia? Or are you comfortable with a guy standing at first slip opening the batting?
It's such a tricky question. You can write a book about that.
Write me the book.
I think every bowler needs to be his own captain as well.
Yeah.
The minute back in the day when I saw a captain going up to a bowler, I felt like, this is going.
Yeah.
Because every ball is in his ear, every ball is in. So obviously he doesn't know what he's doing. The captain's got to.
Yeah.
Now the captain sets his field for him.
Yeah.
Now I know that bowler can't go away from that field. You know, he's got to bowl to his field.
Yeah.
And then that gives me information and sort of already the battle's won. So I always felt like whether you have a batting or bowling captain, whether it's a Cummins or whoever, that bowler Hazelwood still got to turn around and have his plan in place and go like, you know what, I want 45 out. Okay, this ball, bring that mid off. It's got nothing to do with Cummins. He's got to stand up for his own performance and captain his own field.
Did you captain yourself? What did Graham do? Graham, I mean, he was at first slip. Did you just say to him, listen, it's all on me here. I know what I want and I just need to deliver?
I mean, Abbas was also my captain and he would stand at midfield, amazing middle fielder. By the way, most important fielder there. Lots of run-outs, lots of catches, just chipping over, chasing, stopping the ball, very important. So proper catch. To have a bowler at middle in test matches, fine. You're always talking. And in
what are you talking about? I know I used to have Broad and Ellison, and they used to stand next to each other and talk, and I was like, no, the bowler's supposed to be at fine leg. But batter should know. Jonathan Trott or I, we were down at fine leg going, why the hell is a bowler at mid-off? What do you talk about?
I mean, to be honest, I remember being in Bangladesh and I was talking to Morne about what we were doing next. We were going on a fishing trip, and he would bowl, and he would come back and he'd say, what is that Rapala that you're using? And I said, no, I'll use this one. And then he'd bowl, and he said, was it orange or green? And that was the conversation to kind of keep him calm, you know.
Right.
But then other times you are having like smart conversations. Like with Vernon. Vernon had this thing he called everyone chooks. Remember chooks? And there's a saying. It's shortened as a kiss. You know, keep it simple, stupid. So sometimes Vernon would come and he was always trying to do something.
Yeah.
And Vernon would come. And he's like, "What do you think, chooks? What do you think?" And we just had this little look at each other, and we just like blew a little kiss. The simple, essentially, just go back to what you're doing. Keep it simple, basics and basics. That's it. So he'd look at me, he'd blow a kiss, and I go, and that's no words. Really.
Never saw that
It's even crazier than I thought.
So yeah,
Did you ever see that kiss?
I didn't know about this.
so you know, it's that, but also a captain that understands. Thank you. Understands his bowler will allow him to do it. But I see a lot of bowlers now, like running. I'm watching the game, and I see, and they don't change their field for 6 balls.
Yeah, mad.
Thinking, how are you not? Because like AB said, you're trying to play the game within the game, the mental game.
Yes.
You know, you're trying to make him think, I'm going to do something, but then you go back to, you always want to bring the game back to what you want to do, you know, the simplicity of what you are capable of doing. And the best way to do that is just by messing with the guy's head, you know. I'm going to bring this guy up, I'm going to do that, I'm going to do this. And then you end up doing the same thing anyway.
He messed with your head,
Many times.
but there was one spell of bowling when you were playing for Deccan Chargers against RCB. I mean, that was crazy batting. And at that time, that almost changed the way that T20 cricket was played, because how dare you hit Dale Steyn like that? That was almost what everybody was thinking. But you were like, I see the ball, I hit the ball. It doesn't matter who the bowler is. I'm going after him. Have you guys ever spoken about?
No, we haven't really.
Yeah.
I mean, I have all the respect for him. I just remember the hug afterwards, and I honestly felt bad.
Did he hug you?
Yeah, we gave each other a hug.
Yeah, I think it was amazing. Because I don't think I'd ever been taken down in that fashion.
Yeah, but that's the thing. It was, it was at Bangalore, really good wicket. Chinnaswamy, game
I watched it. We all watched it.
Adrenaline. I hardly even knew what I was doing. I was just trying to read and feel my rhythm. That's basically what it, and everything came off. It was one little inside edge that rolled for 4. Probably shouldn't have got in the way with that. That sort of triggered me and went like, you know what, I have to go. Yeah.
But you did ramp him the other way on one occasion.
Yeah, I hit a couple of very good lap shots actually. But I think the shot that did it for me was the one that he actually nailed his Yorker and went over extra cover for season. I even went like, what the hell just happened?
Yeah.
I can't believe the ball went for 6 over there. So it was like, I surprised myself as well on that night. And that's why when I gave him the hug afterwards, it's almost like, sorry, man, it was my day. It just happened.
No, that's it. And I think when two giants go up against each other, that's what you want, you know, when you go, I get you.
No, but you do. We want it. We want to watch it. Like, I watched it. I was like, I cannot believe what's happening here.
Yeah. And it was just carnage.
But I mean, that is where the game did change. It has become a batter's game.
I think so.
They're damn important.
Especially on,
we love our bowlers.
No, I'm saying especially on grounds like that.
Yeah.
If you have extra 10 meters on your boundary ropes, you miss hit one, you're gone.
Yeah.
So it's in the game. If the bowlers are smart with their game plans, they're prepared to change it up. They're prepared to bluff and captain their own fields and sort of play the game the batter wants to play with you. Because the batter's ultimately got to premeditate a little bit.
Yeah.
We have to go like, this is the field. I'm expecting balls A, B, but if it doesn't happen, then I'm ready to sort of adapt to plan C.
Did you have plan C?
Just in case.
I had A and B. You see, that's how good this guy was.
He was the most fearless batter that I'd ever bowled to.
Yeah.
The reason why is because I don't think there was many other guys that would have played that shot against myself or somebody bowling at that speed. And I'm going to take my glasses off. You'll watch when he gets into position, he watches the ball hit the bat and almost watches it go fucking matrix like Carlston, okay? Other guys, they'll go, all right, and when it's about there...
They'll buckle. Yeah, they'll buckle.
And they buckle. Jerome Taylor runs brilliant bowls Yorkers to me. I was batting in Cape Town, and I knew he was just landing a Yorker. He had nobody there because he knew and I thought, I'm going to play a lap. First time ever. And as he let the ball go, I said, I'm not playing a lap. You know?
Stuff that shot.
Do you understand what I'm saying?
But that's the bravery, huh?
Yeah.
But that's the game, taking the game to a new level. We talk about 360, we talk about how good he was, but there is also a saying in cricket, you're only as good as your last knock.
Oh, I was wondering when that's going to come in.
What happened? I want to finish here. I'm going to give the bowler, it's a batter's game, the bowler's going to finish. Set us up and let's close us out.
And that's a cut.
I think if you asked him, what is the last ball that he ever expected me to bowl to him?
Yeah. See, now he's starting to
Do you understand what I'm trying to say?
He's disrupting rhythm.
Yeah. And I ran and I stand in the top of my mark and I was like, he's going to hit me for 6.
You knew I had you.
Yeah.
So you already know what I'm doing.
Yeah.
I'm going for 6.
He's going to go for 6 now. And if I bowl anywhere in this zone and I miss it, it's going for 6. And I thought, you know what? I'm just going to try and bowl him a slow ball bouncer. And it didn't actually get as high. It was kind of more like...
Yeah. So weird. I thought I was there. The weirdest thing was like chest height. And I thought, oh, yes, sweet.
Yeah.
And I don't know what happened. Yeah, next minute I just saw Dale diving around there. And he's like,
yeah, he kind of clocked it. It went up. I looked around and I was like, I'm not letting anyone else take. I ran. After everything that happened, yeah. And you know what? I've never bowled another ball to him and I don't plan on it because I've ended on a high. Like,
you're only as good as your last knock.
Yeah.
You're only as good as your last delivery. Caught and bowled Dale Steyn.